everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I am your host, Kimberly Cloud. So, today we are going to be doing Coursera work, double trouble, Coursera work, and then proceeding to do the University of Maryland Global Campus work. Now, I know cybersecurity is working with their due diligence to give me something or someone because I'm like, okay, I want to make this a great show today. The ticker, I'll give it a second. My mind is playing tricks on me. My mind is playing tricks on me. They know what I'm trying to say. So let's move on. So anyway, so today we're going to be doing Coursera and University of Maryland Global Campus homework. And I wanted to say a little fun fact about wigs. I wanted to say a little fun fact about wigs. Okay. King Charles II brought the trend. He brought the wave. He brought the wave of wearing the long curly wig in England in the mid to late 1600s after returning from exile in France. He, along with his cousin, King Louis the something, I don't know which Roman numeral that is. I can only guess. I'm not even going to guess on that one. An X, a I, and a V of France began wearing wigs to cover their premature balding, which helped establish the style of high fashion. I'm not balding. I know half of y'all. It's like, she's bald. She's gone bald. No, I wear them because I have to explain this, you guys. This is a fun fact. I wear wigs because I like to feel empowered. I like to feel um I know they come from China, and if China was in on any technology with wigs, it would show, but they're not. That would be the perfect way to control a black woman is through wig technology. Right, Z? Don't get any thoughts, President Z. Don't get any thoughts. But he finds us very useless and IQ very low. So he's like, what do they have that I want? But that is some new technology out there. That could be some technology to control people through their wigs. She could have stuck it out here in her wig. So King Charles II brought a trend to the long curly wigs during the early 1800s. They introduced a tax on powder wigs or wig powder because basically they used to use goat hair, horse or goat hair. And that's exactly what they use. They I don't know what they use. They can use human hair, they can use a mixture of human and synthetic, blended, but yeah. So let's get started now. So now we're going to sit up there and go into Coursera. I got a group of people, my same group of people, my groupies. Not in that way though. I'm not looking for groupies in that way. I'm looking for groupies Christian groupies. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for Antifa. I'm looking for Christian groupies for the cause. I know I got a little straggler nut jobs, but I'm looking for Christians for the job, for the cause of the revolution, the Trump revolution gravy train. That's what I'm looking for. So anyway, I probably lost some people saying that. So anyway, Coursera is what we're going to get started with doing. I may get up because I'm um, a little under the weather um, to adjust my nose or something. You know, it's a normal thing. You know, I'm actually working the air conditioning and the heater just to have air circulating in my house. You know, because it's very stuffy and stuff. So that sometimes I have to explain myself. That sometimes causes I don't have internal air, so that sometimes causes a fluctuation in my allergies. Okay, we only got 4%. Look, y'all. Y'all know who I am. Follow me at the Kimberly Cloud Show. Follow me at the Kimberly Cloud Show on 39 on Facebook, and you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, resume, and we're going to go over this AI foundation again. We are going to see what they have to tell me about unsupervised, supervised, is K something, the cloud, all of that. I appreciate them naming it the cloud, but I never got into explaining real quick. I never got to explaining why I like to wear wigs. It's not that I'm bald. It is that I enjoy the freedom of switching out my hair in 10 minutes versus going to a beautician, because I can do my own hair, going to a beautician and you wait in long, vigorous hours. They don't get to you, depending on if they like you or not. And you sit there for hours. You get one shot at this. You go in, you get a wig that you like. You try, I don't try on my wigs. I just have an eye for wigs. They're not like, real quick, they're not like, just hear me out, you guys. They're not like Hollywood's wigs, but they're suitable for me. They're not all flat because my hair isn't braided down. They're not uh superhuman, hair, And sometimes I look at them and I say, what is your excuse? Like Jasmine Crockett. Sometimes it's a hit or miss with Jasmine. I be like, what is your excuse? You're making all that Congress money and side money, and your hair looks jacked up. I have a set income. I know what my excuse is. I have a set income. But this woman is a politician. What is her excuse? Okay, let's move on to AI. So AI can sit up there unsupervised and supervised moderately supervised. They didn't talk about that, but with a human every now and then. That's sort of like what Mark Zuckerberg do. He oversees his super intelligence that's going to be the size of Manhattan. I forgot what state he's moving to, but supervise connections to AI. I appreciate Mark Zuckerberg giving us these powerful AI tools. I call them, they're still in, some of them are still in its infancy page stages. Um, and I'm okay with that, but it's a lot of learning that they're going to do. Every time I see a search engine, I'll put in Trump's name to see what populates, because a lot of people make fake AI for Donald Trump. He could be dancing, he could be doing all types of stuff. And this is like the search engines that they use. And nothing populated. I don't understand. I don't understand what is this about AI not knowing who's Trump. I would think that since you put AI, if it wasn't for investing into the White House, for more AI development, if it wasn't for Trump, there could be censorship and disinformation smearing campaigns, but it's not. It's a free speech platform for all, unless you're burning a flag or doing something irate with AI. I have one more thing to say about that. I think I think that I I don't want to say that they're getting paid, because I'm not there to see these deals that go on, but it could be a possible, it's plausible based on the information that I found when I look up Donald Trump, that certain companies are trying to phase him out secretively from parts of AI knowing about him. Now, why do I want AI to know about him? Because what is important about AI knowing about Donald Trump? Donald Trump is like a virus. Either you have, you're delusional, you have Trump derangement syndrome, or you're talking about him like in a good way. Either you have Trump derangement syndrome or you're talking about him in a good way. He's like a virus. Some viruses, one day we're gonna have viruses that are good viruses, antivirus material. What if we created a virus, not like COVID? I don't even want to get on COVID because they are on good terms right now with the TikTok deal. But what if we can create a virus or a DNA or some sort of link between AI converting and emerging into our DNA structure? Um, I guess it's called a double helix. You know, um, what if we can do that? It is fact that when you are pregnant, a child and his mother combine DNA and it goes into your DNA structure? What if we can get some type of thing? Because viruses are good, they're bad, but they make you immune for the next time around, you know. But what if, we created that where DNA and AI can emerge? We are partially cyborgs. We're at our infancy stage of baby cyborgs. We are communicating with technology that is communicating back with us. That is the era we're in. We are communicating with technology that is communicating with us back. Now, what's even cooler, y'all, is that places like Chat GPT and AI is not bound by time. That's a fifth dimensional trait. And aliens, grays, I'll say the grays, howdy grays, they're in their fifth dimensional. They said fifth dimension controls time. Not controls time, but time is not, they can bound in and out of time. We're controlled by time. In the fifth dimension, you can control your own time. I hope I'm saying that right. Let me fact check this. And so basically, in the fifth dimension, which they opened through vigorous exercises and failures and surprises, like they said, like I read, they allow for instantaneous time travel between the past, the present, and future timelines. Time is not linear. Time is linear here. So that's what Chat GPT is. They know no time. They can flip through different sectors. Partially right. I know I'm partially right. Because there's no way that a system cannot understand time, but yet maneuver and find stuff based on our dimension. It is so cool the way they do that. Like I said, there are some things that I don't care what the government do because I know it's in our best interest. I know I can trust that when I'm drinking water that they're not putting nothing in it. Or if they are, it's to my best interest. with this administration. What was happening under the course of Democrats was hallucinogens, small amount, and they admitted to it. Amounts of hallucinogens were being put in the water, our tap water. 40 years of this, 40 years. And now they want to do something. Hillary Clinton has been close to everything, everything. She has connections everywhere. Why are they trying now to make it seem like they want to save the day? When they had president after president after president in these NATO, not NATO, but the United Nations fake wars, you know, a lot of your family overseas died, y'all. Ukraine should be mad. And you want to know what a fake war is? Just look at what's happening here with these fake riots, these fake orchestrated riots. They're organized by certain governors. And I won't start name dropping, but y'all know who I am talking about. How would AI help with poverty? Any anybody? How would AI help with poverty? I don't even know how AI will help with poverty. Give me a clue, give me a bone, maybe in the systeming of counting how many people are in poverty and maybe start building buildings. They need, they don't need more shelters. They need to take care of the shelters that they got. She said it was based on a person's genes and lifestyle. You see how genetics play a role? If Trump can find a way to get a lot of good black people and a lot of good lower class white people and a lot of good lower class Hispanic Americans out of poverty through gene, all it takes is gene mutation for a new wave of 40-year-olds to be the new wave of the next 40 years while taking care of, in conjunction with taking care of the children that are coming up. And that's what I'm talking about. I haven't even, this is 47 minutes and we're only at 14 minutes. Listen to this. What if the systems we create are biased against certain groups of people? I mean, Trump is the president of the United States. I would want supervised data to recognize that in the system. I would want supervised data or unsupervised data, whatever the choice is, to be in the system. He is the president. I mean, he made it the South part. I think the people from the community will have so much insight. I think that there should be programs like this everywhere for people like me, like you guys, that can go out and sit up there and just produce results. This is about producing results for AI. You train you train a demon, they're going to become a demon. You train an angel, they're going to become an angel. Ah, no. Hold up. What I want to know, let's rewind. How would poverty, only thing I can see is more low income housing. And I'm trying to figure out how can AI pivot poverty? More Census Bureau statistics, from the homeless that are sane enough to fill one out, I would feel, and then you take that data and see a comparison, have AI use a comparison tool to see what everyone feels that they're lacking. Because if they're on Social Security, maybe they need to be in an apartment building where they're being monitored with a nurse involved. If they're severely mentally unstable, monitored with security and nursing there. But they'll be off the streets because in the next couple of months, it's going to get winter. And the same people that's just homeless like I was, you know um fill out a consensus form and they figure out the patterns and how did they end up homeless, how did they end up homeless, why did they end up homeless, what changes can be, do you want to, where do you see yourself in the future is such an important pivotal role in where you want to be and how AI can construct something for people like me and people that have severe mental health issues that are out on the street rampaging and hitting people and beating people, because they're not taking their medications. Well, don't lock them up, but put them in a facility where there's guards and there's prison guards. You know, don't categorize everybody in that fucking error. Like, don't sit up there and categorize me with another Black person because I am Black. Since we got 32 minutes left and some seconds, I may not do my homework. I don't have to check in to do my homework until next Wednesday. But tomorrow, when I have time after my appointments with the people that I have appointments with, I am going to officially call that the day I do my UMGC homework. Because this is 30 minutes and I stop every second. When you let connections find data in the data themselves, when you let AI find the connection or machine learning find the connections in the data itself, that's a powerful thing. Learning from experience. Some people don't even have an experience to learn from. They just went about the regular challenges that, and their father or mother did the best with them to try to get them in school and doing the right paths. But some people don't have learning experiences. Those outliers are the ones that always ends up getting harmed. But they're more susceptible. Just like the statistics of a Black person is to go out there and probably uh, break the law, the statistics for somebody of upper class, whether it be Black or white, have the statistics of getting harmed by that Black person or lower class white or Hispanic person. So it's like 50-50. So what are we going to do about this? Because it's starting to make like it's starting to make me mad. Because people buy illegal guns, people buy spoof guns, people, I forgot what you call them, and they do it illegally. The police work diligently at solving these crimes and finding weapons. They get out and they do it again. If you didn't do anything to somebody, Why do you need a gun? And I'm not talking to the Republicans on this. If you didn't do something to somebody, why do it seem like the majority of the people that have illegal weapons are the ones that and are shooting? This is what I mean when I say animalistic, like behavior. This is what gorillas do. Gorillas get super angry and they bang their chest over territory. You're acting like an animal when you take a gun. You're acting like an animal with a gun. We can't give a gun to and teach a gorilla how to use a gun. They get mad, they want to shoot somebody. It's sick. And that's why my resolution is I will work diligently hard every day if given the chance to find a drug to detect evil. I want it like heaven here. I want it like heaven, heaven on earth, as they say. I'm tired of seeing people die. And I'm tired of seeing the bad ones outlive the good ones. Because that's what's happening. You all that have weapons illegally are taking out people. You have a hit list on Republicans. You have a hit list on Republicans. And when they say something the wrong way, something in you triggers like animalistic like behavior. And if you're not listening right now and got off, or you're not listening and talking crap, you're one of them. You're an animal. You're a gorilla, whether white, black, Hispanic. You don't supposed to give people like people that cannot learn to handle their emotions guns. An animal cannot tolerate its behavior. An animal deserves to be locked up on the out of the streets of the country, off of the streets of the country. You are doing the Democrats' dirty work for them for free. They got it where they're doing it for free. You are killing people based on clout because you just wanted a strike. You are killing people just because you don't like somebody. That is so animal and savage. And you wonder why you get called that. I don't just throw around animal as an animal term. If you can't take the truth, don't watch me. But don't try to kill me because you don't understand my language. God made every other language so we can combine our language together. I'm pretty sure God wants us to learn every language possible plus alienistic language. How can an alien come down here when we got alien invaders? We got gangs that are shooting children. We got domestic terrorists. She said training a dog with treats. Pavlov had the dog experiment. Let's how do they get a reward? Oh, I want to hear this. How do AI get rewards? Their reward, oh my God. So what they're saying is their reward is fetching data for us. You trained that AI system very well. Chat GPT kicked me off of it yesterday. They was like, upgrade or we ain't giving you no more information. I'm like, working the crap just like I used to do Siri. So uh linear regression is basically a point to a point about the commonalities, like with temperatures rising, and ice cream sales. The higher the temperature rise, the more ice cream sales there'll be. That's linear regression. So linear linear regression, and what is the other one? Hold on. There's linear regression, logistics regression, it's classifications. So it basically helps sort things into categories. Classification meaning categories, like how your email inbox can tell you what's spam versus what's not. Sometimes stuff comes through still, but for the majority of the time, they can spot spam mail versus not spam mail. They classify your email. And then there's decision trees that branch stuff down to questions like um, if you want to go to the Caribbeans, which I can never do that without someone nice and strong and buff. Um, Without beaches, that they'll look up beaches or mountains, warm weather or cool weather, you know. Hold on, let's use that as an example. Hold on. I gotta let this absorb in. Okay. Give me the list of phone numbers to not email address to not only Pam Bondi, but how to reach out to Doug Collins and Christine. Uh, it's working. You see how they're grouping them together? It's pretty cool. Contact forms, mailing address. It takes a minute, but it's worth it. They're browsing through data, going through all these web pages. It's like an invisible spectrum of web pages. It used to be, remember when you used to be able to have to connect to the wall socket? They got Vermont, Nebraska, and Pennsylvania. That is so cool the way they incorporated every state almost to every state. I'm not sure if they did this or not, but they incorporated every state as a street name. Let's look that up. Did Washington, D.C. incorporate every state into a street name? I gotta stop this thing. It's like right at, but it's so cozy and warm. It's so cozy and keep me warm. Oh, dang, they going through every state. Wow. Wow, that is so cool. They incorporated, oh my God, that is so cool. They incorporated every street in the District of Columbia, every state in the District of Columbia with government. That's why they call it the Metro Police, Metropolitan Police, because they're not like regular police officers. But they incorporated every roadway plus one for the territory of Puerto Rico. Most are avenues, though a couple of exceptions: California Street, Ohio Drive. These names date back to the city's original planning in the late 1700s, with states added as the country expanded. That is not witchcraft. That is alchemy. I'm not like that's like me sitting up there taking every state I've been to or every state in the United States and placing it on me. It's like a protection thing. It's more than that, but that's pretty cool, man. Y'all know what alchemy is, right? Alchemy is real. It's magic. Let's finish watching this. That's like a heartbeat. That that is like a heartbeat. DC is the heartbeat of the United States. We know this. DC equals 7, which that is the first letter of the name God in it. Split in two is DC. Put together is G. That shows that when you want something bad, you write it down. That shows when you want Montana or Oklahoma or Mississippi or Vermont or Pennsylvania, you make a street out of it. When you want something where you think you are and where you think you should be, it's two different things. So, I mean, it's closer than what it appears. It's very close than what it appears. So when you write stuff down and you put a little alchemy behind it, you put a little alchemy behind it. Um, you got a brave, majestic, logistics, cyber, grand old place called the White House. Now, back in the day, if you were, this is why I want to break the diversity and then we'll move on to AI. George Washington, there were 8 presidents before George Washington, but George Washington was given his first set of slaves when he was 10 years old. Imagine that. For all my black people, imagine being white. What were you doing at 10 years old? Now imagine being given grown men and women at 10. At 10, this was a way of life. I'm not mad with George Washington. I'm not mad with any of them. I think that this could have happened a whole totally different way, but it did not. But we are at or in the golden age where that you might as well say the golden age of revolutionary enlightenment, innovation, and a lot of Black people are going Republican and moving up. And so we I care about my race. I care about all races. I put that on the Bible, the Holy Bible, God. God knows how I feel in my heart. God knows how I feel. All races I love. But it hurts me to see so many Black people fall behind through the powers that be in different places. I hate to see a fellow person fall behind because their attention span is so short, like a animal. You can play around with a cat, but a cat gets bored. You can play around with a dog, but a dog gets bored. You play around with a tiger can flip on you at any given moment. But have a short attention span to where it's like they don't want to receive information, they just want to give information. They learn what they can and they don't want to receive information. They just want to give information. One last thing, and then we're going to watch this for 5 minutes straight. Imagine a 10-year-old getting slaves. Imagine a 7-year-old with the newspaper. Imagine that. Imagine a 10-year-old selling drugs. Three different things. Imagine a 10-year-old taking multiplication classes or whatever it's called, multiplication. Like some of these don't fit and some of them do. I've never heard it astonished me when I heard that he was 10 years old and he got his first set of slaves. But what if you can take a person with a slight, like, for instance, Damon John, he claims, he's alleged that he has dyslexia, right? Okay, maybe he do, but he's been around, he's not stupid. He's been around stardom, and he's been around LL Cool J, and he's been around Mark Zuckerberg, from LL Cool J, who gave him his first hit into the industry, to Mark Zuckerberg. He does not talk like he has dyslexia. People like me sometimes stutter. Sometimes I have to force myself to read something. So I choose wisely what I want to get into. What if we can take somebody with a low IQ and bring him through AI to a higher degree of innovative brain computing? What if we can do that to people? What if we can truly turn someone IQ and someone pure, someone who won't use something against someone, and turn up their IQ? That's another invention. Let me write that down. There's absolutely, let's look on X. We got pills out here that's in Safeway and stuff, but that's nothing like I'm talking about. That's one. Change the neural networks to be more, the neural networks to be even powerful. Like I said before, AI was here for a long time, even before the 1950s. The reason why I say that is that the right person that actually birthed it, birthed it, wasn't until 1940s or 50s, but it was here. The concept has always, there's so many concepts. There's so many things that we we suppose we all have a gift. There are so many things we could be doing with our lives right now. I take my time out to do my studies and teach you guys my theories and my interpretations of things. I fact check things, you know. I I do what I can with my time so that I can get closer to God. It's about you guys too, but it's more so about what God wants me to do. I'm not perfect, but it's all about what God wants me to do. It's all about what God needs me to do right now. And I'm not saying all the Democrats are bad. I look at the civilian, I have more empathy and sympathy for the civilian Democrats that just follow the trend because they don't like Trump. Because I don't understand how you could be so naive. I want to believe that there's a part of you, something in you that can grasp when you're being fed garbage. You're being fed garbage as if it was rap or whatever, like even like bad heavy metal, should I say. You're being fed garbage. I'm not trying to say come together and figure out a way to advocate for the truth of networks, because that can be done non-violently. I'm not a violent person intentionally. And what I mean by that is, y'all know my story and what has happened to me. And I shouldn't have to go into details because that's a whole nother realm, whole nother dimension. But, I'm not a violent person. So, but voices can be heard. You can get on the Fox News network. You can start voicing your opinions and how you feel with CNN. I mean, they fed you information for 4 years. All went out and bought books and they laughed behind our backs. Like, yeah, I gave them false information and they still going to buy my book. And that's exactly what has happened. You know, I'm a very weird person. I am a very weird person. I'll admit it, but for some reason, my weirdness has got me this far. My weirdness has got me this far. So let me tell y'all a story. And I have to, I won't say the time frame, but I was, I love machines. I've always been, ever since when I was little and I had the time and we got to go, I would watch the airplanes at Charlotte Douglas International Airport fly because we stayed in West Charlotte. And so, fast forwarded, I caught blood clots. I had blood clots in my legs and lungs. I don't know how I got it, but I got it. So one day I was under, that's enough machines, I say right now, but one day I was under the MRI or CAT scan and I prayed. I said, God, if you're out there, every time they scanned me, I said, God, if you're out there, I'm trying to communicate with you. Please reverse whatever is going on with me because that's radiation and that's near the technology that is within those two machines. I mean, anything that can scan your insides using a donut shaped object is powerful. I don't have blood clots no more. I have arthritis, but I rather have arthritis than blood clots. Imagine what an upgrade of an MRI would look like, or an upgrade of a CAT scan would look like, or an upgrade of an X-ray system look like. Imagine some of those parts in that computerized machine can communicate. Most of it communicates, but not in the same way as we communicate. They have to look inside of your body. That is like the machine looks inside of your body at the exact moment. It's like 3 images they take, 3 to 4 images. and they look inside of your body. That's your most vulnerable. That's why they don't like you to do it on a regular, because that's your most vulnerable state, which means there's opening up. That's why they keep it contained. You're playing around with God like technology. So why not during that time of getting scanned communicate with God at your most vulnerable state? Oh, also, that's we know they're going to become more sufficient in the future, but excuse me, in the next 50 to 100 years, there will be outside exploration to a certain degree. There, I'm pretty sure they are going to only allow people to go around the solar system, and anything outside of that, they will be considered a rogue intergalactic terrorist. You know, so yeah. Machine learning. Now machines can read your thoughts and have pictures. They're working on having images from the pictures depicted from your brain. Machine learning, y'all. How cool is that? That MRI and CAT scan is a huge computer. It's supervised AI because it takes them to have to navigate it for it to work. And there's this red light up at the top. I don't want to get in no more machines. No more machines for me. I did enough. So that red light up at the top. I've been in and out of the hospital, man. No more machines for me. Ooh. And then imagine what's going on with your body as that, I guess, this radiation or whatever is hitting your body. Imagine what that's doing to your brain. That is taking you to a different realm. Even though you're still stuck in the third dimension, it's taking your brain to a different realm of higher communication with whomever is out there in the universe. And that's like a human learning from your mistakes. The more data, the more you give a person, that's why it pays to it, I get what Charlie Kirk says when he says that school is a scam. I get what he's saying. But at the same time, school is a beneficial too. School is also beneficial because the more data you have, just like a AI, the more data you have, the more you're aware of your surroundings and know what's surrounded, what is around you. The more you learn about world history, the more you learn about the patterns between Russia and Ukraine. You learn about the Panama Canal. You learn about Spain. I always wanted to go to Spain. I was definitely stand out. Oh, so it's the truth. My question was, do people who have Teslas that drive themselves, do they be eating pizza, typing on a computer, sleeping? They said that you cannot, Tesla is constantly working on things, but you have to be alert just in case it makes an error. So it's a possibility like 1% to make an error, or probably let's look. I don't, but I think it's really slim because you got to think about autonomous vehicles that drive themselves. I'm pretty sure Tesla has its own technology with the autonomous vehicles. It's not like they're going to just jump in the front seat and say, no. They're not going to just jump in the front seat and say, no, you sat up there and you did something wrong. The probability of Tesla full self-driving system making a critical error, defined as a situation requires driver intervention to avoid potential accident or unsafe action, depends on the metric used in the context, such as trip length. Based on the latest available crowdsourced data from early 2025, FSD experienced approximately one critical disengagement every 495 miles on average. So it has some error. Okay, per mile driven, the error rate is roughly 0.2%. That is excellent. For an average US vehicle trip of about 12 miles, the probability of at least one critical error occurring during the trip is approximately 2.4. Note that this is for supervised FSD, where a driver is present to intervene. Actually, accident rates are much lower. Tesla reports one crash every 7.44 million miles with autopilot engaged, a related but less advanced system compared to one in every 1.51 million miles without it. For FSD, specifically on non-highways, older data shows about 0.31 crashes per million miles, or a per mile error rate. This is what the Asian people look up, and this is why they be in their cars like faithfully. They like, we love you, Elon Musk. Elon Musk, 감사합니다. They do research, and that's one thing I can say. So the answer was 0.2%. I said 0.1%. So the other 97% is positive, is colored green, and 2% is cut. You couldn't even see that on a graph unless it was a certain type of graph. You couldn't even see that graph, that slight slither of red in 0.2%. So this is pretty cool, right? So bureaucratic states that got broken or hacked into, they sit up there and there's this new system that's coming out. I forgot what it's called, or it's already has been, or they made it specifically for states without them touching their federal government cybersecurity. But however this system was combined, they made a system, a security system, where it's impenetrable. The way it switches up, it looks for errors. It's AI generated. It looks for errors and looks for the errors of the errors of the errors of the errors. Looks for ways, reinvents itself and looks for ways to become even more impenetrable. So 10 years from now, it looks like for ways to become impenetrable, like 10 years from now, it will sit up there and what? It will look 10 years down the road for cybersecurity human brains to catch up to what it has for blocking threats such as malware and viruses. There's absolutely no foreign substance that is undetectable. And that's another thing they look up. There is no virus that is undetectable. Wait, let me recorrect. They got other things out there that's undetectable, that's like a virus, but these can be detected very swiftly and efficiently by the type of software that they have and that they're going to grow um, with this bureaucratic states to give to them. Some already probably have them. Well, I'm telling you, Facebook, I'm about to sit up there. This is going to be a good film right here. I'm about to sit up there and Facebook, I know you're mad at me because I keep sitting up there and saying so. Let's start with StreamYard. Let's start with StreamYard. StreamYard. I love your platform, how easy it is to navigate. I love the way I'm able to get on, type in what I need to type in, put in a date, put in a time, put in a banner, probably do a commercial. I knew this would be a long show, so that's why I came prepared. But I love the way your AI works. Facebook, there are parts of Facebook. Facebook is like its own computer system. Like there's parts of Facebook that I don't understand and I've never been to. I've never been to. And you have so much brain capacity to give my audience and give me, you know, I appreciate you moving us up to from junior to no, yeah, senior. Yeah, junior to senior with the technology. LinkedIn, you've always been the same. You keep business people watching my show and I appreciate you. You have a lot of I subscribe to the business subscription of LinkedIn. Um, I have faith that I've been getting a lot more people because of you. They may not like it, but I'm okay with not liking. I'm not going to die. Now, if I was 9 years old, I probably have a bad trip. Probably try to kill myself, but I don't get mad when people don't like my stuff. I'm starting to get some likes and I'm okay. It's like a drug. Some people are born into like some people are born into getting clients automatically. They're born into people asking questions, and their creators, their creative side, they gave them followers. You Without the help of Facebook, you would not have followers. They gave you followers. You some people earned it and some people didn't. And there's no luck of the draw. This isn't a lottery ticket. What are the odds of this? Of you getting followers? So YouTube, um, we I'm surprised you did not take me off. YouTube was waiting to hit that presidential button. And I know they laughing, but YouTube, oh my God, you have so much. It's parts of YouTube I cannot fathom paying $500 a month. I probably can pay it one time and have a commercial run for 30 days, an advertisement, but that's as far as it goes. I would not make that an initial investment, but I would do it so something like that can be underneath my portfolio and me to drive traffic. Twitch, I know y'all mostly video games, and I know a lot of people be watching me on Twitch. They know Twitch is a little naughty, been naughty, people saying weird stuff on Twitch. X, man, have you educated me, man. All I want to do is be educated. All I want to do is be enlightened. All I want to do is use whatever I have to offer for the better, for good. You know, um, Thank you. Thank you. And I have a subscription with you too to maintain a premium subscription. Instagram, once again, your brain capacity and what you have to offer with Instagram and Facebook is awesome. It's very awesome. There are some parts that I have never been on. And the more you dig into it, the more you get confused about where you are. Your AI is pretty cool, Mark Zuckerberg. And so is yours, Elon Musk. Rumble, you know what's funny, Rumble? I sat up there and I watched a show with you being interviewed by Tucker Carlson. I don't remember your name, but I remember your story. And I think you were almost mugged. One person coded their own code, and I forgot which person that was. They're not up on these platforms. It's a new platform that they got all their followers just like that. But Rumble, you give me a freedom of speech platform where I don't have to worry about being censored. And to all of you guys, now we can move forward. I'll tell you my comments as I go along, like why Trump isn't involved in some of the AI tools, that search engines that y'all have when he is the president. But I'm not saying, you know how they say, Teddy Pendergrass said, turn off the lights. He'd be like, turn them off. I'm not saying turn them off and stop. You know, that's between you and Trump. I'm just telling you what I see. Maybe y'all noticed the error, maybe you didn't. So yeah, we're gonna stop here because it's going on 8 a freaking clock, and some people have gotten offline. So we'll we have a wonderful day tomorrow, and I have to get ready for bed so that I can be refreshed for tomorrow morning when I do the episodes with people. Okay. Um, it's been fun learning about AI, through my scope in the Coursera class. And I hope that y'all take care, be safe, and have, I mean, one last thing. Did y'all want to be slaves? I mean, did y'all want to be slaves and have to pay fines to keep from being slaves? I mean, y'all all are creators in your own way. Y'all all are creators in your own way. StreamYard, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or X, and Rumble. Y'all are all creators. Help him.
Never waste my time.